When the first train along the Boston and Maine Railroad arrived in Dover in 1841, it signaled a heyday for transportation by rail, transforming Dover into a freight and passenger hub. In the years that followed, Dover's rail lines and service expanded to provide access points throughout New England, to the Lakes region, Boston, Portland, or the ski train from Dover to Conway, with 50 or more trains cycling through the city each day. John Cannavan of Dover would be witness to Dover's age of rail. He was hired by the Boston and Maine Railroad at age 13 to work as a water boy on the rail line between Dover and Boston. 4 years later, he was working in the railyard, sawing wood for the early trains not yet powered by coal, tending to the stoves, and cleaning the passenger cars. And just a year later, at age 18, John Cannavan was promoted to conductor, serving on the line between Dover and Alton Bay. He would continue in that post for 32 years until he was promoted again to conductor on the line from Dover to Portland, Maine, and in his final 2 years, from Dover to Haverhill, Lawrence, and Boston, Massachusetts. John Cannavan would become one of the longest-serving employees of the Boston and Maine Railroad. During his time with the railroad, he would see 9 superintendents and 7 general managers come and go. In all, John Cannavan, who lived on Cushing Street, was employed by the Boston and Maine Railroad for 61 years, 56 of those years as a conductor on passenger lines. He was happy to report that he was never involved in an accident while in the railroad's employ and had never missed a day of work. Cannavan retired in August of 1932, then the rail company's oldest conductor. Because of his uninterrupted service, the Boston and Maine Railroad's Board of Directors voted to grant Cannavan a pension, not something available to everyone. Passenger rail would thrive for a few more decades in Dover, including Boston and Maine's steam-powered Flying Yankee, which arrived in Dover in 1935. The Flying Yankee ran between Boston, Portland, and Bangor, offering scenic excursions to the White Mountains and to White River Junction, Vermont. Steam-powered trains gave way to diesel engines and, ultimately, to other modes of transportation. The final passenger train left Dover in June of 1967. But passenger rail would return in 2001 with the Amtrak Downeaster, which includes a stop in Dover on the line between Boston and Portland. John Cannavan, who was buried at Pine Hill Cemetery in Dover, would have certainly made a fine conductor along that line too.